Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Thelma Tarot. My finger in the way now. By Renato Lechner. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying that name right now. And for the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. I already shuffled. Let's see what we got. Okay. Guys! Guys! Okay. Going into this, I'm noticing you have the Moon card, but right after it is the Peace card. And I do get a calm feeling with the Moon. And I'm just trying to see, is that Peace card influencing me, or is that where we're going? Because I'm getting like this vision of somebody just kind of enjoying the moment. It's quiet, and things seem like they could be okay, but I almost feel like there's a moment here of just kind of, I can't connect with what that word means. I don't know if I want to say it, but I guess respite. I don't know why I'm not connecting with that word right now. It's one of the more frustrating things that happens to me when I read. Sometimes like normal words I could understand, but when I read, it's just like my brain goes. Now, you're coming. There's a time of peace here, and I'm getting there's a bit of it. Now, okay, I think I feel more where this is going, because I feel like the person you're dealing with, I don't feel like you usually, maybe not normally get along with this person. But it's kind of like there's a moment of just kind of, you're not really going at each other. I don't feel like you're really communicating with this person any more than you have to. And the communications you have to have with this person seem to be fine. I feel like that word respite is fitting more now, even though I'm still not connecting with the meaning, which is really aggravating to me. This is happening, and there's this seems to be dragging for a little bit with like, just everything's good, everything seems fine, but you're not expecting it to stay that way, but you're enjoying it for what it is. This seems to, there's like 3 cards here. You got the Moon, you got the Peace card coming in next, and then you got the Temperance card, where you're just kind of like biding your time with it. Like, it's still good, so let it still be good. Let it still be good. Let it continue to be good. There we go. But you're very much, I mean, you're not a fool about it. You understand. Because I'm getting the 7 of Cups. You're just kind of like, part of you is kind of like, how long can I keep this going, and what do I need to do to keep it going? The other part's kind of like, all right, how much longer is this going to last, and what's going to change the current, like what's going to change the weather here? Because I feel like you're giving it thought, and you're very aware. You're going to have to deal with this person sooner or later, and at some point, like, you're going to have to be able to like stand your ground. But I feel like where you're standing is like, with the 7 of Cups, you're looking at it like, what could I do here that the next time this comes around, because this is going to be an issue again. It always is. Sooner or later, there's an issue. Is there a way I can like detach myself from it, or just kind of react to it bare bones, or from a third party way? And no, what am I saying? I'm getting like, see, I'm getting like this is like a Paul McKenna moment for me, which, if you don't know who Paul McKenna is, he's a British author. And the book I'm thinking of is I Can Mend Your Broken Heart, which is geared towards romantic relationships, but you can use it for any relationship, I've found. And I'm feeling like this is like, the reason I'm pulling that in is like, because I feel like you're desensitizing yourself to how this person aggravates you. And I'm feeling like you're trying to find a way to like detach from this person emotionally so they can't get you going. Because they seem to be able to do it. And I feel like you're aware of that. And like, for example, that book, if you wanted to use that, it kind of shocked me how powerful it is, because there was a situation I had at a place I worked at years ago where somebody really did something very underhanded to me, and I was very upset about it. And I used those techniques to be able to actually have, because I had to deal with this person face to face still. And those techniques made it so I didn't react to them or get upset. And it was really hard at first. Until I used those techniques, I didn't think it was going to be possible. I was afraid I was going to have to find another job because I was that angry about it. But it put me into a place where I could handle it and not lose my temper. I was going to scream at this person. I was so mad. It just was one of those things where it was just like, just the thought of their name was just igniting me. Because I felt it was very underhanded what they did. So, if that helps, because I feel like you're finding a way to do this one way or another. So maybe that's not necessary for your situation. Somebody out there, I'm sure, will benefit from that. But because I'm getting, you're finding a way to like succeed. You're in this success mode. Now, I'm seeing something come forward here. I'm getting on the other side, when this peace thing seems to be moving on, and is it moving on, or is like, you're going through the moon, the peace, the temperance. And the temperance is kind of like, I feel like temperance is the point where you're like, it's been good for a while, it's been very nice, but you know, I know this isn't how this current situation, even though this is how this current situation is, I know this is not normal. This is not how we normally get along. This is not going to stay this way forever. And I need to find a way to handle this differently, to hold on to as much of this peace as possible, and maybe just to reestablish something here to keep this going in a better direction. Because the other side seems to be honestly agreeing with that thought. I don't feel like the two of you are connecting directly, but the other side's like, you know what, this has been nice. We've been getting along. It hasn't been that bad. The other side is also realizing, you know, maybe there's a way for this to work out better instead of getting aggravated with each other. I don't know if I showed this, because the other card, like they have, this is below the peace, the King of Swords. Is it the King? Yep, the King of Swords. And then, like, you have the Two of Pentacles coming in across under this face down card. And I'm getting this person is giving it a lot of thought. They're very careful with how they're communicating with you. They're aware that the two of you don't usually get along. Like, it's like, and I feel like you might be like, oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they know that. Oh yeah, it's quite clear. But they're also in this same boat with like, you're different. You're two different people, clearly. How do we work this out to where we can actually coexist without going at each other? So they have this thought. They're trying to balance it out. What are they willing to back down on? What are they not willing to back down on? How can they balance this out to where... Because I feel like they're looking at it... This other person you're dealing with is looking at it in a very realistic way. Pentacles are usually more of a realistic in the sense of like very grounded, thought out, in my opinion. And they're like, what can I actually, you know, back down on? And what things can I just not? Because there's going to be a balance here. And they're seeming to work towards this balance. They're trying to work towards this balance. And I'm noticing you have the Six of Wands on your side. That's a victory card, in my opinion. Because you're going into this with like, you're going into this in the sense of like, I'm going to find a way to make this work out so that we can be okay with each other. And we can just kind of deal with each other without without trying to go at each other, without going at each other's throats is kind of what I'm feeling there. The face down card between you is Justice. You both have the attitude to make this work out, and that's why you're getting justice. You're both in that mindset, and I feel like you might be seeing that. You're trying to make it a livable situation. you're going in with success in mind. Like, I will make this work out one way or another. We will get along better. Whatever I need to do, I'm going to do. They're in a negotiative state. I don't even know if that's really a word. They're willing to negotiate. There we go. Let's say it that way. Because I'm seeing the two of you seem to be coming together, talking this out. I feel like the both of you are coming together, realizing, hey, it's been really good for a while. That's not going to stay this way if we don't do something to like work things out with each other. So what should we do? And I feel like it's equal. Now, from this moment of justice, you have knowledge on your side. You're learning a lot about the other person, what they can and can't give in on. I'm getting like, you're like, I can work with this. I'm getting, because they're willing to bend on certain things that mean a lot to you, the fact that they're willing to do that, that means a lot to you because they are giving. They are giving to a certain extent. And you're aware that certain things they just can't stomach. Like, there's certain things they won't bend on. But there's like, for everything they can't bend on, there's so much over here that they can. That's all you need. And I feel like that's all you need. You're like, I can work with that. I can work with that. You're understanding it. It's even like if there's a couple things here that you don't really like, you're seeing them for who they are, and you're like, all right, I realize that that's the truth for you. You really can't bend on these things. I don't really like this and that, but there's enough over here to where I can distract myself and I can be okay with it. I can be okay with it. So I feel like you're just as much in this as much as they are, and you're like, you know what? I want this to work out. They're meeting me halfway. It's the best I can ask for. I do not expect them to go my way completely. I never thought that was going to happen anyway. I can do this. I can do this. Now, you have the knowledge, which is telling me you're working it out. And I get that on your side, and the action card in the center is the Ace of Pentacles. You're reestablishing the relationship and how you deal with each other. And I feel like you're both like looking at the relationship, like there's certain parameters. You're agreeing on these parameters in a sense. I don't know if it's like strictly written out, but you're working it out. And you're okay with how this is going to go forward. And I'm getting the Ace of Pentacles is saying you're very dedicated to sticking with it, and so aren't they. You're both very dedicated to it. So I don't want it to make it look like you're the one doing this all on your own and it's up to you to keep it together, because I feel like it's a cooperative effort, but I feel like it's very important to say that is being matched. Like, this other person is honoring it just as much as you are. I feel like that might be what's really important to you at this point, to realize that they are going to honor it as much as you are. There's a face down card here. It's an oracle card. All right, so this is interesting. So they are honoring it. You got the Ace of Pentacles, and I knew this was going to keep going. You're reestablishing it. You've got the knowledge. You're holding to it. You're realizing, if I want this to be a good relationship, or at least something I can handle or deal with, I need to stick to these parameters. I'm going to do that. They're going to do that. They realize that I need this. Like, whatever they're willing to negotiate on, that's your ball of wax. You can do what you want with that. They're honoring that. They're like, yes, those things I can, and I will honor you doing what you want with those. I will honor that. You're honoring like these things that they can't negotiate on. You're like, all right, I can accept that. Good. You're both honoring each other. The other side has abundance face down. I'm getting you've taken a lot of stress off the other person. Those few things that they're negotiable on, I don't feel like they would normally just give in on those things. But because the main things, the things that they've listed that they cannot negotiate on, that you're honoring those things. Like, I just feel like it's like 3 things for some reason. I don't know why. Clearly it's a general read. But those are so important to this person. The fact that they could trust you to just stick with these things, that you're not going to do anything to negotiate or try to change them, it lifts a great amount of stress off of this person. They completely honor it. They don't want things to change from this moment. That's why the Ace of Pentacles is here, because they feel completely secure with those. Like, I feel like it's like 3 things. You're not really excited about that, I feel, but you're like, okay, if I can have this, I'll give you that. That's fine. That whatever that is that you're not negotiating on, that you've agreed, like we'll keep that a constant, that won't change, that'll go the way you want it to go, whatever they want it to do, we'll do it your way, that's fine. That's the world to this person. That makes them feel extremely secure, like they've been heard, like things are going the way they want to, they can depend on this, they're feeling very happy with that. It's face down, but I'm getting like that is what's, it's almost like putting them in your pocket, because I feel like you're kind of gaining support, or you're almost gaining like someone who's like, not only do they really enjoy this, it's beyond that though. Like they want to make sure the situation stays, they want to make sure you stay happy. I feel like this person is kind of looking out for you from this point. Like they view you differently. You've taken so much stress off of them. Whatever happened in the past, I'm not saying you're going to be buddy-buddy, but like I'm getting this person's going to keep an eye out for you to make sure you're okay. I don't feel like they're going to be very obvious about it. They might just like accidentally tell you things that they feel make your life easier. Like they're not going to make it look like, oh, I heard this and I know you would benefit from that. It's not going to come across that way, but they might just accidentally share something with you, accidentally, that they think means something to you, that makes your life easier. They're going to kind of honor the relationship in that sense. But it's going to be very, like, they might give you a little, but they'll be like, okay. Like, they're not going to get too close, if that makes sense. But they're going to definitely look out for you, if that makes sense. I feel like they're very happy with how things are, and they don't want to rock the boat. But they'll do things for you, but it's going to be almost like, I feel like in some cases you're going to notice things going your way, or like, for example, if there's an office party and you say pistachio cake is one of your favorite things, you're going to notice a pistachio cake on the table and maybe a couple of other foods that you really like, and nobody's going to know where they came from. Like that type of thing. I don't know if that makes sense. Like this person is going to look out for you, do things for you, but they're not going to want you to know, and they're not going to look for the credit for it, but it's kind of like they're in the mode where they want to keep you happy, but they don't want to make a big deal about it. As long as you're happy, they don't think it matters that it came from them. As long as you're happy and you're doing well and the situation's going in a good way, they just seem to be looking out for you in that sense, but they seem detached from it. I hope that makes sense. It seems interesting because I feel like it's somebody who cares, but they don't want you to know they care. Like, they respect how you're helping them. You're making their life a lot easier, but they just, like, they don't want to get really close, but they do want to honor you without you knowing they're honoring them. It's very interesting the way I'm connecting to this information. Because I feel like they do, like, I don't know, however that's hitting for you, but they're, like, keeping a safe distance, but they're definitely looking out for you. But I feel like a lot of them are just being very covert about it. Like, they're doing things for you. They're making sure things that you like are out there, but they don't want you to know they made sure it was out there, or they're the one who actually got it. Like, for example, that pistachio cake, I don't know why I'm going there. That's out there. Say you love that, just for example, and you're just like, where'd this come from? Nobody has an answer. I think that person. No, nope, I didn't bring it. I think that person. Nope, I didn't bring it. And you never get an answer where it came from. Is it for us? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's for us. It's like things like that. It's like that person brought it. They don't want any credit for it. They don't want any credit for it. They just want you to be happy. That's just how it is. Okay. It's just interesting. I think it's cute, actually. I don't know. I don't know how you're going to view it, but I think it's cute. Anything else? All right. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.